Hey guys, how's it going? So we are out with the Benjamin Classic 22 cal, and we're going to sight it in. Well, I've already sighted it in, so we're going to do a grouping shot with RWS Super Point Extras 14.5 grain. I really love this gun. I can't remember if it was the first rifle I bought or the second one, but it was last year anyways. And I put a lot of rounds through this thing, and I really do enjoy the gun. But the only thing I don't enjoy is listening to that spring buzz, but hey, it's a non-pal air rifle, and I think even the ones that people are either hopping up or buying a PAL version of have a bit of a twang as well. I don't know, but I have adjusted the trigger on this, more to my liking anyways. And this is the rifle that my wife has been shooting quite a bit lately, and so she's actually getting used to it, so I can't mess with the trigger anymore. Unless I want her to get used to it once again. Well, you never know, maybe. So we're going to do a grouping shot anyways, and we're going to see how well this thing's grouping with the Super Point Extras. Funny thing about air guns is, you know, some of them will like a number of different pellets that work really well, and some pellets just don't work worth a bean. So anyways, we've got a brand new target set up downrange here, and we are at 18 yards. I've been shooting a lot at 18 yards in the last while. I just find it's a little bit more fun than 10 meters, you know, and it's not a whole lot difference than 10 meters, but it's enough that, you know, it is better. And I think I'm going to step up the game and go out to 25 yards pretty soon, especially with my QB, because that thing is just way too accurate. But anyways, we're going to shoot our group, and then we'll show you what the pellets actually look like coming out of this thing too. Now this is a non-PAL gun. So it is rated for under 500 feet per second, and it actually does run, you know, just under 500 feet per second. So, without further ado, let's have some fun. It's nice because there's no wind out tonight, and the sun's going down, which is bonus too. Okay, so that one actually went a little high. So we're going to need to bring that down a bit. Springers are a lot different than nitro guns. Just when you get used to one and you go back to the other, you're kind of getting used to things all over again. That's a little bit better. So we're just a little bit to the right. I actually appreciate the center point scope on this gun. This is actually the original scope that came with it. And even though it doesn't have locking turrets, it does hold really well. I'm really impressed with this scope. There we go, now we're talking business. So let's see how tight we can get this. Now we all know that pellets are not perfect, so, you know, we get as tight a group as we possibly can. We just don't want too many strain shots going on. That one was me. I jerked it, it went down and to the right a bit, so that was me. You know what? I think we're going to adjust the trigger. try that and see how it works. What I want is for the trigger to fire a lot quicker here. That's not too bad. We are going to shoot 2 targets just like we did with the F11. Alright. My wife is absolutely going to have to get used to shooting this gun again now. I don't like a lot of creep on the trigger, so it's nice that these things have adjustable triggers. And being at 2-stage is nice. Alright, one more shot and we're going to change the target. So it looks like I didn't have it as sighted in as well as I thought I did. And that's okay. It's nice to be able to know that. That was definitely me. Alright, let's change this target and we'll do her again. You know, it's always the best one wins, right? Instant for you. Well, you know, other than a couple of my bads, that's a pretty tight group. We're going to view it in a minute, don't worry. Alright, so let's put another set through here. I may not be able to get this gun dialed in as nicely as I'd like to with these pellets, but if I can get a tight enough group that works. Then I'll be pretty happy. I wish this was a mil-dot scope though. The box says, oh, it's a mil-dot. No, it's not. Okay, we're just going to put a couple more through. We're actually doing extremely well now that I've adjusted that trigger. A lot better. Oh, that one went up a little, I think. Have to recheck my video and see where that one actually went, if it was up or if it was near the middle. We do have a shot that's up high, so. Yeah, that one that's up high could have been me. Thought it was when we first started. Hard to say. We'll recheck the video anyways. You guys will know. Watch each shot as it happens. Okay, 2 more pellets, and then we're going to compare notes. All right. Okay. One more for good measure. Somebody's out there saying, he's going to take another shot. We know this guy. He's going to do it. And I'm going to do it just because you said that. I know somebody did. All right, let's go grab the target. All right, so we have left side, first target. Right side, second target. Well, I got to tell you, we did have to do a couple of little extra adjustments, just very minor. I'm learning that at 18 yards, only go one click at a time. And that's with all my scopes so far. Anyways, so our first group didn't turn out too shabby. This gun does put out just under 500 feet per second. And it actually fused a couple of pellets together here. So I guess they had a good smack at each other. But yeah, you get some pretty serious damage. And this thing's only running in between 460s, 470s, most average now that it's broken in. I've had a lot of rounds through this gun. And I got to tell you, I really enjoy it. But that overall is decent. Of course, needs to be tighter, right? So a couple of little adjustments. Now if you look at the smash on these pellets, it's definitely staying fairly consistent when it hits the target as far as what kind of damage actually happens to the pellets. And that got pancaked really good, almost inside out. So that's decent as far as hitting power goes. But here's our target up close and personal. So this one was probably me up in here, a lot of it, but then we had to adjust things to get it tighter in here. And our last couple shots came into here, 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 here. We did really extremely well. So I would say, you know, as far as this particular pellet goes with this gun, it's not going to get any better. And I do know that this thing will definitely go bullseye, pretty much after bullseye for the majority of the shots with the Predator Polymag 16 grain pellets. Now that's my gun, and this is something I want to explain quickly, but I am going to talk about this in a completely separate video. No two guns are alike, even in the same gun. You're not going to find two classic 22s that are going to shoot the same pellets with the same kind of grouping, or you know, they're not going to have the same kind of consistencies and speeds for FPS. You know, I've actually seen some of these things shoot slightly lower than mine. I've seen them shoot much higher than mine, even for being a under 500 FPS version of the gun. There are a lot of guys that do switch out the scope. I don't know why, but it is a very nice scope. It does hold its zero position. The only thing you got to be aware of with this scope, of course, is it doesn't lock the turrets like a lot of higher end scopes do, including the Leaper scopes, which I consider them a very, very high end scope, but at a very affordable price. And they do have locking turrets which also reset as well back to zero, so you can dial in a pellet so that it's your perfect pellet for, you know, whatever you're going to do with the thing. And then if you are going to change to another pellet, it's just a matter of unlock the turret itself and then just make your minor adjustments for the new pellet if it'll work with that pellet. Because you can't just dial in any pellet to work with an air gun. You know, some of them just will only run 2 or 3. Some guns will only run 1 pellet. Some will run a dozen. Depends on the gun, the power system, like the power plant, the speed of the gun. A lot of factors involved. But anyways, so that's our grouping test with the Benjamin Classic 22. It's a fantastic gun. You get a chance to pick one up. You know, I don't know if they even did a POW version. They may have, but I've not seen one in Canada. I've only seen the non-POW version offered. And that's what I have, is the non-POW versions, or non-FAC, so under 500 feet per second. And it runs pretty close to the 5, which is nice. You know, it does a really, really good job, you know. And I love the 2-stage adjustable trigger. That is just bonus. But now, I've said this about the video in the F11 as far as hunting goes. I know of a YouTube channel that I watch, and the guy has actually done quite a bit of hunting with his Classic 22. He has the same gun, and the thing definitely will take down anything small game. It could even take down some medium game as well. You know, even though it's sub 500, you still got some serious hit power there in 22 caliber. So great for pest control, great for some small game hunting, maybe some medium stuff. Maybe, it just depends on what it is, I guess. Great plinker, you know, all around awesome gun, and definitely worth the money. And if I remember right, I got mine on sale too, so that's an even better deal when you can get them on sale. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching, taking the time to check out the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and you got a good idea now of the, I would say, the full capabilities of the gun, at least with this pellet. And I can tell you myself, you know, that with the Predator pellets, the 16 grain and the 15.89 grain shorties, this gun loves them and does an even better job with those pellets. I've got some slugs on order that should hopefully be here soon, and I'm going to try them out in all my 22 cal guns just to see how well these slugs actually do work in comparison to pellets. Because it got my curiosity up. It's like, shooting bullets versus pellets. This is going to be interesting. But at least the ones I ordered are sized for a standard, normal, everyday 22 caliber air rifle. So it's not like we're going to get any jam ups. At least hopefully not, because they're only 17 grain anyway. Any hooch, I'm out of here, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you in the next one.